Peter Frampton was born on April 22nd, 1950, in the town of Beckenham in Kent. He started playing guitar at age 8 and took several years of classical lessons. In his early teens, he played with rock and roll combos like the Little Ravens, the True Beats, and the Preachers, the latter managed by the Rolling Stones' Bill Wyman, and appeared on the TV show Ready, Steady, Go. In 1966, Frampton dropped out of school to join the mod pop group The Herd, where he got his first taste of success. The Herd scored several British hits from 1967 to 1968, and Frampton became something of a teen idol, earning the tag the Face of 1968 from the music press. In 1969, Frampton left The Herd to form the harder-rocking Humble Pie, with former Small Faces frontman Steve Marriott. Although Humble Pie was poised for a breakthrough after 2 years of touring, Frampton departed in 1971 over differences in musical direction and decided to start a solo career. Having already performed on George Harrison's landmark All Things Must Pass, Frampton contributed guitar work to Nilsson's Son of Schmilsson and released his debut solo album, Wind of Change, in 1972 with help from Ringo Starr and Billy Preston. He next formed an official backing band dubbed Frampton's Camel, which included keyboardist Mickey Gallagher from Cochise, bassist Rick Wills from Bell and Arc, and drummer Mike Kelly from Spooky Tooth. After the release of the 1973 album Frampton's Camel, Frampton began to build a following through near-constant touring over the next few years. Despite this, he broke up Frampton's Camel before the release of his next album, 1974's Something's Happening. The title would prove prophetic. The follow-up, Frampton, became his first hit LP in America, climbing into the top 40 in 1975 and going gold. By this point, Frampton had amassed a considerable catalog of underexposed songs, the best of which were tightly constructed and laden with hooks. He'd also developed into a top concert draw since he was able to inject those songs with an energy that was sometimes missing from his studio outings. Plus, in concert, he often expanded the songs into vehicles for his economical, tasteful guitar playing, and his pioneering use of the talkbox guitar effect became a trademark part of his performances. All those elements came together on Frampton Comes Alive, a double LP set recorded at San Francisco's Winterland in 1975. The album was a surprise smash, rocketing to the top of the charts, where it stayed for 10 weeks, and selling over 16 million copies worldwide to become the most popular live album yet released. It stayed on the charts for nearly 2 years and spawned Frampton's first 3 hit singles, Baby, I Love Your Way, and the top 10s Do You Feel Like We Do and Show Me the Way. Naturally, his supporting tour was a multi-million-dollar blockbuster as well. When the dust settled, Frampton was a star, and Rolling Stone named him its Artist of the Year. Under pressure from A&M to deliver a quick follow-up, Frampton fought his better judgment and went back to the studio instead of taking a break to rest and let his success sink in. The result was I'm in You, which rose to the number 2 spot on the album charts soon after its release in 1977. Its title track did the same on the singles charts, giving Frampton the biggest hit of his career. Many fans would regard I'm in You as a disappointment. Even though it sold over 3 million copies, its hasty writing process showed through in spots. Unfortunately, 1978 was a disastrous year for Frampton. He made a high-profile acting debut playing Billy Shears in the big-budget film version of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is a tremendous critical and commercial flop. In June, he was involved in a near-fatal car accident in the Bahamas, sustaining a concussion, multiple broken bones, and muscle damage. To make matters worse, he and his longtime girlfriend also ended their relationship. Frampton recovered fully from his accident, only to endure a brief slide into drug abuse. His 1979 album Where I Should Be went gold, and its biggest hit was the top 20 I Can't Stand It No More. Respectable, but a startling drop-off from the success Frampton had just recently enjoyed. Frampton seemed increasingly directionless as the 80s dawned. After two albums, 1981's Breaking All the Rules and 1982's The Art of Control, that failed to return him to the top of the charts, Frampton retreated from the music business for several years. He returned in 1986 with Premonition and gained substantial rock radio airplay for the cut Lying. The following year, Frampton played on one-time schoolmate David Bowie's Never Let Me Down album and accompanying tour. He recorded another new album, When All the Pieces Fit, for Atlantic in 1989, and had been planning a reunion with Steve Marriott not long before Marriott's tragic death in a 1991 house fire. Frampton subsequently started touring again and cut an eponymous album for Relativity in 1994. The following year, he issued the newly recorded live album Frampton Comes Alive 2 on IRS. During the late 90s, he recorded and toured with Bill Wyman and the Rhythm Kings and Ringo Starr's all-star band. The generally well-received Now, his first studio album in 9 years, arrived in 2004, followed in 2006 by Fingerprints, the latter of which earned him a 2007 Grammy Award for Pop Instrumental Album of the Year. His 14th studio long player, 2010's Thank You, Mr. Churchill, was supported by a North American stadium tour with Yes. The following year, Frampton embarked on the Frampton Comes Alive 35th Anniversary Tour, playing the original concert album set list in sequence. His 2013 Frampton's Guitar Circus Tour featured a rotating cast of guest performers, including Kenny Wayne Shepherd, B.B. King, Rick Derringer, Robert Cray, Roger McGuinn, David Hidalgo, Dean DeLeo, and many others. Early the following year, Frampton was inducted into the Musicians Hall of Fame. Later in 2014, he released Hummingbird in a Box, Songs for a Ballet, an EP of 7 new original guitar pieces that were inspired by the Cincinnati Ballet. He revisited his catalog the following year on Acoustic Classics. In February 2019, Frampton announced he was suffering from the progressive muscle disorder inclusion body myositis. This diagnosis instigated a farewell tour in 2019 called Peter Frampton Finale, concerts that coincided with the June release of All Blues, a record to which Frampton dedicated himself to covers of classic blues songs. 2 years later, he released Frampton Forgets the Words, a collection of instrumentals, which was followed in 2020 by Do You Feel Like I Do, a memoir he co-wrote with Alan Light. Frampton returned to the stage in August of 2022, playing Buddy Holly's 85th birthday celebration in the early rockers' hometown of Lubbock, Texas. A few months later, he had a triumphant homecoming at London's Royal Albert Hall, playing a concert in November 2022 that was released as an album in September 2023. Peter Frampton at Royal Albert Hall after a tour called Never Say Never, concerts he played after realizing that he was healthy enough for another round of shows. On 19 October 2024, Frampton was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. As of the recording of this video in February 2025, Peter Frampton announced that he was going back on the road for the Let's Do It Again tour. And that's what happened to Peter Frampton. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Give me some facts about Peter Frampton that I've failed to mention, and let me know who I should do next on the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.